because we can all come to one place and have our separate competition, have two separate sports, mutual respect, and I think this is just a great showpiece for our sport.
Let's look at like in a marketing point of view. If you want to sell a car, you don't sell two models that are more or less the same, and the only thing that changes is the wheels. So we want to have different cars, different model to different audience, and that's what we're trying to do here with Compound Recurve. It's completely different and try to sell it to IOC and to other multi-sport games to give their own identity and a strong identity for Compound that I think is missing. And the archers deserve it. They are great archers and they have great matches and they train really hard for it.
Heads are down, revs are up, and we are up for the first scoring end. It looks like Lisa will cut the arrow first, and that is a 9 on target 2. And a 9 on target 1. Australia's Miss Lingard versus Lisa Unruh of Germany. We have a 7 on target 1. Lisa with a 10-9 liner.
As you used to say, too close to call.
Yeah, that one's really close. No wind at all right now, Juan Carlos.
Yes.
Okay, Lisa finishing strong and fast. Her total is that liner that we mentioned earlier, a 9 and then an 8. So her last arrow is an 8. Her last arrow is an 8 on target number 2. And that is a 6-7.
That's hurt. And we come back that what we are doing here, we have Recurve archery, Recurve woman, 116 elimination. Today is the day that, depending what's happening in this and next elimination, they will get some quota places, those countries that have not get the quota already in the team. And here we have the roll call that we did yesterday, George. You missed this part. And we have India, Cash in Pocket. Welcome, good morning. And we have Dave from Isle of Man.
Oh, these are the folks who are watching on the internet and have logged
Yesterday we
in.
make a roll call to see how many countries we have with 25. And
how
now
cool
we are
is that?
going. And you will see now our audience start saying from where are they from. And we make a little roll call which connect us with the audience and they can make question what is happening here and behind the scenes.
I'm waiting to see the first person who caught the fact that I accidentally called Ms. Lingard from Austria instead of Australia. We'll see if that happens.
Let's say.
Hey, you're not supposed to mention your mistakes, though.
No,
it was
that's
my
correct.
mistake, by the way. Not
Correct.
yours.
And now the audience is very sharp and they catch it. They correct us. They
I don't have much practice doing this anymore.
Good. So we come back to Olympic qualification. That has been a lot of questions and a lot of interest, a huge interest. And we have 11 countries today here in Recurve Women and 12 in Recurve Men. Still for getting spot, which means in the 116 elimination, 3 things can happen. That the one that pass in the 180 elimination are 8 already, so nothing has to happen. Then the 8 that pass and has not quota place from the team already got a spot. If they have less than 8, we have to go back to the losers of this 160 elimination.
This one right here.
Right here, and rank them. And by this, we have a competition Friday morning.
Tomorrow morning,
Olympic quota qualification, where the archers from the 8 elimination, the eliminated one, has to make elimination, and they rank by first, second, third, and whatever number has come to complete the 8 that's still missing. That's it. That will happen. And the third case is that there will be more than 8 that pass, which I think is not possible physically. If you have 116, you cannot have more than 8. So this is what happened. The 8 that pass has no quota place, which will be very difficult. Or we have to get to all the losers and rank them by a competition on Friday morning.
Well, in just a moment, we'll have updates on the other matches that are taking place right now. So it's a 2-0 lead for Lisa Unruh after that first set. Lin Xiexia of Chinese Taipei is leading 2-0. Ida Rahman, the Olympic champion of the London the vice champion of the London Olympic Games, has a 2-0 lead. It is Deepika Kumari leading 2-0, the archer from India. American archer Lenola Pritchard now leading 2-0. Kaori Kawanaka of Japan, the Olympic bronze medal winner from the team round in London, has a 2-0 lead. It's a tie between Miss Laxmirani of India and Wu Xiaxing of China. A 2-0 lead for Christine Esabua. 2-0 lead for Kang Chae-young of Korea. Kang the Destroyer, I've heard her called, although I have no idea why they call her that. We've got Veronika Marchenko leading 2-0. It is Karina Zivominskaya of Belarus now leading Katuna Lorig of the United States 2-0. Elena Richter leading 2-0. Tanya Ting with a 2-0 lead. Also with 2-0 leads, Katuna Naramanidze, Carla Hinojosa of Mexico, and Tuyana Dashidorzhieva of Russia. And number 2, Lisa has a 9 on that shot. And our archer on target 1 from Australia has an 8 points.
Okay, we have from USA
9 on target 2.
Sorry, George, I didn't realize you were already in the match.
And an 8 on target 1. No, say whatever you like, but please forgive me if I interrupt because I'm doing the job for the spotter right now as well, so forgive me for that one, Carlos. Okay, there's a 9 for Lisa. And one more shot to decide this set, and it's a 10. Nice shot. So Lisa's still prevailing. Now she's leading 4-2, Juan Carlos, or 4-0 rather. Excuse me. That's solid shooting from Lisa.
I must say that the experience here has most probably playing a role. And I go back to the USA as check-in, Norway, India was there, Australia, Melbourne.
Oh, there we go. Hey, the boss just showed up, Juan Carlos.
Boston.
Look over your left shoulder. The boss just showed up. Greetings to Tom Dillon, our Secretary General of World Archery, who's stopping by to keep things running smoothly as always.
And I think he deserved to have a chat with you.
Oh, well, thank you. What did I do to deserve that? Hey, I do want to welcome our World Archery Secretary General, Mr. Tom Dillon. We'll give him a moment to get the headphones on and push the button to start. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, George.
It's nice to have you here.
A pleasure for me.
The fundamentals of Olympic selection are running under the currents of everything happening here this morning. Nothing can be more important for a lot of these countries. Could you please give us a brief explanation of the system from top to bottom, starting with the qualifications that took place with the team rounds earlier and how things will end up tomorrow?
Yes, George. Well, basically, it all starts with the host nation, Brazil, that is lucky to be the host, and they have to shoot basically one arrow on the first day of competition, and they have their spaces. They also have to comply with the minimum qualification standard, which is applicable to everyone. All men have to shoot at least 1 time 630 and the women 600, which is the minimum requirement for us to accept the entry at the Olympic Games. And then it depends all on what happens here at the World Championships. Here, half of the places are allocated. So what happened on Tuesday was we had the team round, and basically you had to be in the first 8 teams, excluding Brazil. Now Brazil in the men got through to the 1/8 elimination, but did not win the match against Australia. So basically the top 8 teams got Olympic quota places. And there were quite some surprises. After that, we need to have a look at what happens with the individual competition. And the rule is clear. We give places to the 8 top individuals, that are not in the team quota places. And that means that we look at who will get in the top 8. We remove the teams and Brazil. We go and look places 9 to 16 and beyond if necessary. Now, our rules are quite clear in World Archery, is that for the top 8 it's quite clear who is first, second, up to the 8th place. But the ones that lose the 1-8 will be all positioned 9th. The ones that lose the 1-16 are all positioned 17th. So on Friday we might need to determine who is 9th, who is 10th, who is 11th, and so on. And rather than looking just at points, what we're doing is we're having them shoot off for those places in a secondary tournament. But we will see what is happening here. At the moment, it is looking quite well for our German federation, because as far as I've seen...
yeah, Lisa's shooting well right now.
And also the other ones.
And Elena Richter.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you don't mind, I'll just run through the results very quickly here. We have... right now, as we mentioned, Lisa leading now 4-0. We've got a draw between Chinese Taipei and Russia, Lin Shiqie and Ksenia Perova. Ida Rahman leading 4-0. Shi Yuhong of China and Deepika Kumari of India are tied at 2-2 right now. We have a 2-2 tie also for Alejandra Valencia of Mexico versus Lanola Pritchard of the United States.
And US is one of the teams looking for a place.
Yeah. So, and Japan is not, though, right? Kaori
Japan
Kawanaka
already qualified. Yeah.
Right, the women
Yeah.
did. Kaori Kawanaka leading 3-1 over Laurence Baldov of Austria. And let's see, Laxmirani Maji of India leading 3-1 over her opponent from China. Now both India and China are in.
Both are in, yes.
So that doesn't affect the outcome for tomorrow. Christina Esabua of Georgia is tied right now. Tied right now with Zhu Zhuman of China. Kang Chae-young.
Both of them's also already qualified.
Yeah, and the Koreans who are also qualified. Kang Chae-young leading 4-0 over her opponent from Belarus. Oh, excuse me, from Poland. Now, Veronika Marchenko of Ukraine leading 3-1 over Yuan Shuqi of Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei was shocking.
Yes, it was a big upset in the team round that Colombia got the place instead of Chinese Taipei, who are dead favorites in that match. But that's archery. The last arrow will decide who wins.
No, to be fair, I'm not surprised Colombia got their slot.
No.
But that Chinese Taipei did not was a shock.
Exactly, and okay, a lot is to be explained by the position of the Colombian team, who had one of the three archers failing to make the cut in the individual, and that put the Colombian team lower than what they should have been.
Yeah. So clearly that was an anomaly that did not play out well for the team from Chinese Taipei, because they had the misfortune of not winning in that match. And they're fairly evenly matched in other circumstances, but I think there was pressure on both sides.
Definitely. And okay, it seems that Germany is in a very good position to claim a spot because they have won without too much doubt the match on the show range.
Dominant victory from Lisa Unruh, and I'm pretty sure, just checking the other match for Germany, which is Elena Richter on target number 16. Her opponent is on, well, they're both on 16 at the moment, so I can't tell you by looking which one won, but Elena was in a 4-0 advantage.
And I think, for instance, what is interesting is for the opponent of Lisa, it would be good that the other Germans win as well, because the more Germans go through in this round, the more chances there is for the ones who lost this round to shoot the secondary tournament on Friday. So, in a certain sense, the Australian is cheering for the two other Germans now.
Sure. I can't tell you, by the way, what happened on 16, because both women are shooting orange knocks and white veins.
Yeah, well...
So I can't tell you who's who.
And some of the people listening might wonder, okay, what is there for the ones that don't qualify today? So basically, after this tournament, there will be 5 continental qualifiers. Those qualifiers will take place between now and May next year. The first one will be the Asian qualifier, which will be held in Bangkok in November. Then we will go in January to Africa, to Windhoek in Namibia, where there will be also 3 places. In Asia and Africa there will be 3 places. Then we will move in April to Tonga in Oceania, where there will be 2 places, and our Australian archer here, of course, is concerned by that if she wouldn't get the place here.
So the tournament's in Tonga?
In Tonga, yes. And then we will have the American qualifier, which will be in Medellin, together with the World Cup stage that will be held in May in Medellin. And then the last continental qualifier will be in Europe, in Nottingham, also in May.
So that's for Europe?
That's for Europe.
And then there's one more after that, right?
And then there is one more qualifier, both individual and team, because the continental ones are only for individuals and only for teams that have not yet qualified as possible.
Okay.
The final qualifier for teams is open to all teams that have not yet qualified, and having seen who has not yet places, it's going to be a very, very tough competition.
Sure, because some very good countries haven't got places yet.
Absolutely. The countries that have a long Olympic tradition have not qualified.
France.
France is the obvious example. Britain, multi-medalist at Olympic Games, also without places at the moment. So it's going to be a very tough competition, and it's showing that the sport is growing. It's no longer a guarantee for the traditional countries to show up at the World Championship and get places for the Olympics.